Fun, very challenging, and yeah, very noisy project. Start with a big, boring backyard. Add in 3 energetic boys aged 11, 5, and 2. Next, bring in their dog Daisy and a gigantic toad named Cleo. Yeah, I said Cleo, the toad. Finish up with 2 parents still unpacking in their new home, and it's no surprise Mom and Dad are asking for our help, transforming their garden from chaotic to colorful.
Hi, Walter. I'm Mona.
I'm Joseph.
And we just moved into our new home, but we don't know a whole lot about gardening, and we want to learn some more, so we thought we'd give you a call.
One of the reasons we bought this house was because of the backyard. It has plenty of green spaces. It's a 2-layer. We have a lower level, and we have this top level that's divided by this wall here.
We want to live in the city, but we need a little country feel. With 3 boys, you need all the space you can get.
Ah, yes, the boys. The quarterback is 2-year-old Ty, and then there's 5-year-old Charles. And this is big brother, 11-year-old Jay. Add in Daisy, the dog, and Cleo, the toad, and you've got a group certain to destroy a landscape in minutes.
My boys like to play out here, so even though I want a lot of color, I really need something that's going to work for a lot of roughhousing, too.
Mona wants a new planting bed next to the patio. Joseph wants to camouflage Daisy's kennel. And both want to transplant some of these flowers from the front into the back.
I didn't know what was what. I didn't even really know what was a weed and what was a flower. I'd like to move some of that color into my backyard and let those taller plants jump up and be in the space and fill in.
As the parent of a teenage boy, I have lots of empathy for Mona and Joseph, but more importantly, I have a plan for their garden. First and foremost, I'm choosing tough plants that will tolerate the kids and the dog. Next, I'm going to reuse some plants from Mona's overgrown flower beds in front of the house. The beds need to be thinned out, and I can't stand to waste good plants. Finally, my plan won't box in the patio. I think before long, the kids will be stomping all over it. So I'll create a smaller bed around the patio and another in the yard to provide color and keep the kids away. So let's take a look at my Garden Sense plan. Our first step is to dig up a lot of turf to create 2 new beds. In the first, above the stone wall, I've chosen sturdy flame grass. It will stand up to the kids and to Daisy and provide a bit of screening for her kennel. Also in that bed, we'll add much-needed color with Roseanne geraniums, said to be one of the most prolific bloomers in the geranium family. Then, 2 kinds of asters and grand blue caryopteris. Plus, to soften the wall, some clematis that will drape over the edges. Closer to the patio, we'll transplant some of Mona's perennials from the front and add new plants like this gorgeous obsidian heuchera and this chocolate chip ajuga, a plant I think the kids, but not the dog, are going to admire. You can find my complete nursery shopping list online at DIYnetwork.com. Just type in your zip code to get zone-specific information.
Oh, that's really pretty.
It is pretty.
The day starts with rave reviews, but then come the warnings.
What was that tall thing that was taller than me? I don't think that I want plants that are taller than I.
Some of those new plants are going into this new bed carved into the hillside. Well, Mona and Joseph, our first plant of the day is a big one. This is a big miscanthus. This
Wow,
is
that's
actually
tall.
Purple miscanthus. Yeah, it is pretty big. What do you think about the height, Mona?
Well, it's almost as tall as I am,
Well,
but I guess that's okay.
It is okay because it's supposed to shield the dog kennel behind us. It has great purple color to the foliage when it gets a little bit older. You'll see the purple leaves.
Oh,
And
okay.
it has these nice seed heads on top of it, too.
Okay, well, I love purple,
Yeah,
so that's
really
great.
nice plant. How about blue? You like blue?
Yeah, blue's okay. That's his color, but okay.
Grab the aster right here because this is called October Sky. It has great blue flowers on it. See, it's already got one right there, a little blue flower there.
Oh, that's nice.
Sure. This is an aster that rather than being tall and sort of rangy and floppy, it spreads over the front of the wall, which is why I chose it.
Hey, now, Walter, with our 3 boys, how would this plant hold up? Is it a real sturdy plant?
Yeah, both of them. Both of them are really abuse tolerant, shall we say. Boy tolerant might be a better word there.
Okay.
Coming up next, more plants tough enough to stand up to the kids. And I withstand DIY's Garden Sense, where we're filling in the new hillside bed with colorful, kid-tolerant plants. Now add these Roseanne crane-bill geraniums to the list. I picked this variety because it's one of the longest blooming geraniums available, and these iridescent blue flowers will hang around from summer into fall. Well, Joseph, here's another plant we can put along the wall that also has a lot of height, but a little different texture from the grass. This is Tartarian aster.
Is it a very sturdy plant?
Yeah. If the boys come and hit it, it's not going to hurt it at all, and particularly because you're going to shear it down every year because it'll die anyway during the wintertime.
Does it flower during the year?
Yeah, I guess about 4 feet tall. See the little flower buds right there? Those little flower buds. But in the fall, it comes out, has nice blue flowers on it.
Okay, that's cool.
4.5 maybe feet tall is about where I would expect it to be in this exposure.
A little bit more cover.
Yeah,
block the
exactly.
kennel and stuff
block
up
the
here.
kennel back there.
Okay.
But the only maintenance it needs, as I said, is the shearing, and you're going to be shearing the grass too, so not a whole lot of care that be needed for it. Nearby, we've planted this sturdy oak leaf hydrangea. I know the boys will say the foliage looks like an alligator's skin, and they're right. But one warning, like any alligator, these love water and need to be kept moist for several weeks after planting. Mona, I know you're going to like this plant right here. Look at those flowers.
Well, it did start out the right way. It's got my color scheme
Got your
going
color,
on.
got the blues and the purples in there. This is a Caryopteris is the name of the plant, and it's one I really, really like. It's got great blue flowers on it during the summer and some during the fall as well. Fabulous plant.
Can you say that 3 times fast?
Caryopteris, Caryopteris, Caryopteris.
Oh, you're good.
Bluebeard, Bluebeard, Bluebeard. That's the other common name for it. Bluebeard. But honestly, like some of the other plants we've planted, it needs shearing each year. You cut it back and it works a lot better. It seems to look a lot better and blooms a lot more heavily as well.
Joe will like that. He gets to have the fun of cutting it back.
Joseph seems to like a lot of the mechanical things.
He does like a lot of the mechanics. I like making it pretty. He likes making it functional. We make a great team. Oh!
I bring our great team together to add this clematis on the edge of the bed. If you're looking for a sturdy, colorful plant to cascade over a wall, this sweet autumn clematis is a sweet addition. Make sure you pull out the stakes and untangle the plant so it can start wandering down the stone.
You know, I think I'm going to hold on to this bamboo stake because I have a feeling I can find a...
You could probably use it in the garden.
Yeah. Nothing like recycling.
One of my favorite fall jobs is to deadhead flowers and also to move them around the landscape. And that's something we can do here in Mona and Joseph's landscape very easily. These purple coneflowers need to be moved in the first place because these spiky seed heads really make it sort of unattractive to come up to the front door. The flowers were pretty a month ago, but now with the seed heads just brown, they don't look so good. And moving purple coneflower is really easy. All you have to do once you've taken the stems off is to look for a clump like this one that has a little rosette of leaves around it, and put the shovel on one side and then this side, here and here, and then the whole clump comes out of the ground easily. Now there are other plants that are just as easy to move as the purple coneflower. These black-eyed Susans, you can see the seed heads there don't do anything for me on this plant, as well as the Shasta daisy behind me. All of them can be deadheaded all the way to the ground to just that rosette of leaves, dug up, moved around in the landscape. It's a breeze to do, and it's a great fall job. Next up, more sod heads out as the kids move in. Then the whole family teams up to make everything in the backyard beautiful. Well, almost everything. As Garden Sense, where nobody is using the phrase quiet, peaceful garden.
Say ribbit, ribbit, say rah.
Cleo the toad joins our Garden Sense crew.
If you touch them, you gotta wash your hands.
Thanks, boys. I promise we'll stay clean, as we've been staying busy adding plants tough enough to withstand all the kids and the pets in this backyard. So far today, we've planted miscanthus, asters, geraniums, hydrangea, caryopteris, and there are plenty more posted online right now at DIYnetwork.com. Just type in your zip code for zone-specific information. Back here at the nursery, let's talk about ways you can be a more sensible shopper if you're creating a garden that will be shared with active kids. First, ornamental grasses are a very sensible selection, and that's why I used flame grass in Mona and Joseph's landscape. Grasses like Cosmopolitan miscanthus or little zebra maiden grass are very tough. They're going to stand up to, or more appropriately, bounce back from abuse by the kids. Finally, when creating a new landscape with kids around, you need to consider safety, especially when supporting new trees. I just don't think that tree stakes that use wire like this are the safest option when kids are running around the yard. In my landscape, I reduce the danger by using 2 posts, one on either side of the tree trunk that kids can clearly see. And instead of wire, I just use an old t-shirt. Our second and final bed is next to the patio, and we're being extra careful here pulling up the turf because it'll be replanted in this damaged side yard. But with the turf gone, we're stuck with lots of clay. So watch for the flying bags of soil conditioner designed to help bust up that clay and improve drainage and help plant roots spread out. Next, we do lots of tilling before the Fuqua family drops in.
Yeah, come over here and dig.
First to go in is this pilgrim oregano, but be warned it's a plant for beauty, not for cooking. And while this variety does well in just about any type of soil, I'm not sure the same is said for the kids.
It's a bit of a challenge to garden with you, Charles, because you like to do your own thing, but that's okay.
The kids and the birds will love the berries on this beauty berry. They start appearing as small green dots in June or July, and then they gradually start turning a really cool purple. Now this is a particular one that doesn't get much taller than he is right now. He's about, what, 3 feet tall?
He's going on 3, almost.
All right, well, 3 feet tall is about how high this early amethyst beautyberry. Okay. That's how high it'll get. It's about 3 feet tall and 3 feet wide, and because of that, it's a perfect selection for this sort of narrow space right here. There are bigger ones that get 6 feet high and 8 feet wide, but this one is the right one for this place. A real sensible selection.
Okay, great. I love it.
That's going to be great, Ty. It'll be almost as tall as you. Sweetie, don't pick the berries.
Finally, some things like these rudbeckia pulled from the front beds get replanted in back. And that's good because they'll now have a chance to spread out in the new bed. Mona, along the edge of the bed, I got 3 new plants you are gonna love.
Oh, all right.
This is called PD Gold Liriope. It looks like indoor plants, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks a lot like my spider plant that I have.
Not any kin to it at all, but it's still a great plant. Look at the flower color on it, too.
I know. That's what I noticed was that it had the purple flower. I thought maybe you'd stuck something down in there, but nope.
After a couple of years, it'll have 5 PD Gold. Here's one you're going to like. This is plumbago. Look at those flowers. Yeah.
That's really
matches
beautiful.
Your shirt. Look how it matches your shirt.
Yeah, it does go with my shirt, and it's going to kind of draw your eye right back to the back bed a little bit.
Look, too, it spreads. That's one of the things about plumbagos. It spreads out a little bit, so it makes a little mound about 8, 10 inches tall, perhaps, and about 2 feet, 3 feet maybe wide. Got to show you my favorite one.
Oh.
Look at the leaves on this plant. Look at how, you see how they're shiny?
I do see how they're shiny.
Isn't that nice? It's called obsidian heuchera. Obsidian is that black
gorgeous,
rock.
Right.
Yeah. It is a fabulous plant. I am just in love with this particular heuchera right here. Boy, these are 3 great plants to line the edge of that garden. Everybody who visits will say, what is that, Mona? Those are some great looking plants.
See, Daddy?
Good boys. Come on, Ty. All right, one goes here, one goes there, one goes there. Our final plant of the day sounds like a tasty one. This is called chocolate chip plant. Not because it tastes like chocolate chips, so don't be eating it, but it has a name because it's so sort of dark green colored on it. It looks like a chocolate and the little long leaves that make it look like a chip. So it's chocolate chip plant, all right?
Does it grow chocolate chips?
It does not grow chocolate chips. Unfortunately, if it did, it'd be at my house because I would have chocolate chip cookies every day if it had chocolate chips on it.
Actually, that would be mine.
It would be yours. I'd have to fight you for it, for the chocolate chip plant. All right, guys, for being so good and helping me, I'm going to go inside the house and get some real chocolate for a reward, all right?
Hold on, I'll show you where it is.
Okay, let's go find it. Next up, for 2 parents who are used to the unexpected, a surprise they'll enjoy.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
A lot, and I mean a lot of distractions. We got a lot done today, creating 2 new beds with colorful, kid-tolerant plants. It doesn't surprise me Daisy is already enjoying the yard. In a moment, you'll see what her owners think of the final result. But first, let's talk about some final details about this project. A sod cutter was an invaluable tool. We took up a fair amount of turf and did it in very little time. And I must admit, Mother Nature was on our side for this project. Generally, when planting in the fall in this region, the ground can be rock hard. But a few days before we arrived, there was a good soaking rain. It made the job of turning over the soil a lot easier. If you're planning a fall project with hard soil, do yourself a favor and put out the sprinkler a couple of days before you dig. As far as costs go, this one was easy on the wallet. At just over $200 for plants, it shows that you don't have to spend a bundle to make a big impact in the garden. The geraniums were the single most expensive item. We used 6 of them for a total cost of $40. The least expensive plants were the ajuga and plumbago at just $6.25 each. All totaled, we used more than a dozen different plants here in Hardiness Zone 6. You can find out if they'll work where you live by going to DIYnetwork.com and typing in your zip code to get zone-specific information. Well, Joseph, Mona, we have added a bunch of color, a little bit of screening as well, and we have a new landscape for you. So, Mona, what do you like about it now?
I really like the fact that we repurposed so many things from the yard already and put them into the bed. I love to recycle and use things. And I like that obsidian heuchera. It is a gorgeous plant.
And a fabulous plant. When the white flowers come on it in the spring, it'll impress you even more.
Okay, great.
Plant. So, Joseph, what do you like about it?
I like the beautyberry and the vines with the white flower.
The clematis that comes out, that's another one that'll really impress you because it will grow rapidly. In a year, it'll probably be 10 or 15 feet further than it is right now. A great vine and a fast grower to camouflage your wall a little bit. Well, with a new landscape, of course, we gotta learn how to take care of it. So pay attention, I'll give you the details. The sweet autumn clematis will need regular pruning each year. If you let it get ahead of you, it can get massively tangled. If it becomes a monster, just prune it back to about 12 inches in early spring to encourage branching. And don't let it grow unchecked anywhere else, since it can be invasive. The geranium should be cut back just a bit right after blooming to refurbish the foliage. The lirio should also be cut back in early spring to keep it looking good. The beautyberry can be pruned in early spring if it starts to look crowded. Just remove some of the branches to give it an open and arching look. Well, we have all the boys joining us, and I'm glad we have because we have had such a great time here with this new landscape. I got to tell you, this has been bunches of fun.
We've had a great time, and we want to thank you so much, Walter, and thanks to DIY.
Of course. Not only that, we usually have a big wheelbarrow full of stuff, but we have something else to help your patio.
Oh, my goodness.
I knew. Look at that.
Wow.
Chairs, a table. Isn't that going to be nice? And Charles, you can get up here and you can do whatever you want to as long as you don't stand on it. That's all we care about. Don't forget that all the details of this landscape and every other landscape we've ever done are available online at DIYnetwork.com. I'm Walter Reeves, hoping you'll join us next time as we try to put a little common sense into your garden.